भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्रीमद् भागवतम प्रथम स्कंद अध्याय 12 श्लोक नंबर 30. This is about Maharaj Parikshit, the seeker. The seeker is born. How Parikshit Maharaj was born as a seeker, examiner. That shloka has been quoted by Suta Goswami to all the rishis in the Naimisharanya. स एष लोके विख्यातः परीक्षित इति यत् प्रभो पूर्वं दृष्टम् अनुध्यायन परीक्षेत नरेश्व इह. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So his son would become famous in the world as Parikshit, examiner, because he would come to examine all human beings in his search after that personality whom he saw before his birth. Thus he would come to constantly contemplate him. Purport. Maharaj Parikshit, fortunate as he was, got the impression of the Lord even in the womb of his mother. And thus his contemplation on the Lord was constantly with him. Once the impression of the transcendental form of the Lord is fixed in one's mind, one can never forget him in any circumstance. Child Parikshit, after coming out of the womb, was in the habit of examining everyone to see whether he was the same personality whom he first saw in the womb. But no one could be equal to or more attractive than the Lord, and therefore he never accepted anyone. But the Lord was constantly with him by such examination, and thus Maharaj Parikshit was always engaged in devotional service of the Lord by remembrance. Srila Jiva Goswami remarks in this connection that every child, if given an impression of the Lord from his very childhood, certainly becomes a great devotee of the Lord, like Maharaj Parikshit. One may not be as fortunate as Maharaj Parikshit to have the opportunity to see the Lord in the womb of his mother. But even if he is not so fortunate, he can be made so if the parents of the child desire him to be so. There is a practical example in my personal life in this connection. My father was a pure devotee of the Lord. And when I was only 4 or 5 years old, my father gave me a couple of forms of Radha and Krishna. In a playful manner, I used to worship these deities along with my sister. And I used to imitate the performance of neighboring temple of Radha Govind. By constantly visiting the neighboring temple and copying the ceremonies in connection with my own deities of play, I developed a natural affinity for the Lord. My father used to observe all the ceremonies befitting my position. Later on, these activities were suspended due to my association in the schools and colleges. Very natural. And I became completely out of practice. But in my youthful days, when I met my spiritual master, Sri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, again I revived my old habit. And the same playful deities became my worshipable deities in proper regulation. Thus, this was followed up until I left the family connection, and I am pleased that my generous father gave the first impression, which was developed later into regulative devotional service by His Divine Grace. Maharaj Prahlad also advised that such impression of godly relation must be impregnated from the beginning of childhood. Otherwise, one may miss the opportunity of human form of life, which is very valuable, although it is temporary like others. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada's purport is like a poetry in regards to explaining how the impressions are created. And the best example about these impressions being created is Parikshit Maharaj. When we read the Bhagavatam, everywhere some characters in the Bhagavatam come for some time. Prahlad comes in the 7th canto. In the 1st canto, 1 or 2 verses are there glorifying Prahlad. But the entire narration of Prahlad comes in the 7th canto. Bali Maharaj is there in the 8th canto. Parshuramji is there in the 9th canto. Lord Ramchandra is there in 9th canto. Shukdev Goswami does not do proper justice in regards to Ram Leela because he had to go for 10th canto. And then like this, but one character is constantly there from the first canto till the 12th canto is Parikshit Maharaj. Because Parikshit Maharaj is there, therefore the entire Bhagavatam continues to exist. Because it is not that Shukadeva Goswami was narrating based upon what he wanted to narrate. Parikshit Maharaj was basically an impetus for Shukadeva Goswami to bring out appropriate pastimes and stories, because Parikshit was asking right questions to Shukadeva Goswami. In the Bhagavatam we read, Suta Goswami and Shaunaka Rishi, when they are discussing, they talk about Shraddha. Tat Shraddha Danamunayo Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya. So the concept of Shraddha is not stagnant. Once we understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is not that we are done with that understanding and become complacent. Shraddha ke saath mein anveshan, seeking will continue. Shraddha without the desire to learn and seek more becomes Shraddha of Tamogun. Shraddha of Tamogun is violent, separatist, narrow-minded. Shraddha of Rajogun is of passion, competitiveness. Right. So therefore, Parikshit Maharaj resembles that quality of his Shraddha is not based upon some hearsay, reading something or experience some stories. But what is his Shraddha? Parikshit Maharaj's Shraddha. In fact, for people's appearance in this world, the family invokes. The family invokes that our child should be born. Those who are very close to the family, they invoke the child should be born. But the Bhagavatam explains Parikshit Maharaj was born not only because their family was desperate, even the Lord was invoking the appearance of Parikshit. Even Krishna, just like Advaitacharya prayed for the Lord's appearance, just imagine Krishna was as eager as Uttara, the mother of Parikshit Maharaj, for him to come. The interesting part is the Bhagavatam speaks this part of the story, how Krishna entered into the womb of Parikshit. Because Bhagavatam is all about internal growth. And the same story is narrated differently in the Mahabharata. Krishna saves Parikshit externally. Here, when Uttara came running to Krishna, Krishna had established Yudhishthira Maharaj the king. And then he said, once the work is done, once you are given responsibility to somebody else who are competent enough, Krishna does not micromanage. Krishna empowers. Can you imagine the Lord, after establishing Yudhishthira Maharaj the king, he lives to Dwarka. He does not worry. He has great confidence in Parikshit, in Yudhishthira Maharaj. Therefore, he is walking away from Hastinapur. So that was the time Uttara comes running to Krishna. She said, Krishna, Krishna Mahabhaga, oh my dear Lord, this great astra of Ashwathama is about to destroy the very womb. That means my embryo where this child is there, the only hair of the Pandavas, everything was destroyed. It was not easy for the Pandavas to rule. It was not easy for them to fight the battle. They had to stake everything. Can you imagine? All the family members, as much as Gandhari had lost her children, Draupadi also lost everything. There was nothing for them. All that war was fought for whom? for nobody. It was only a question of few years, Yudhishthira Maharaj would be retired. He will go to the Himalayas. And there was no one to rule. So imagine how much anxiety the Pandavas had. So therefore Ashwathama, that the worst, the Brahma Bandhu, he released that Brahmastra and he wanted to destroy the last member of the Pandava family. So she was desperate. And then Krishna almost got down from his chariot. And when he saw that this great weapon of Brahmastra is entering into Uttara's womb, the carrier of Sudarshan Chakra, the Lord Hari, he entered into the womb of Uttara. पहले से उसके गर्भ में परीक्षित महाराज है और उस गर्भ में भगवान श्री हरि प्रवेश करते हैं. He enters into the womb of Uttara along with the Sudarshan Chakra. Lord stood there guarding Parikshit Maharaj from the fiery weapon of Brahmastra. As Prabhupada explains, it was more powerful or almost, of course, more powerful than the atomic weapon. When he entered inside, of course, Parikshit Maharaj was physically protected. But more so, instantly Parikshit Maharaj fell to the beauty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna became Angushta Matram Amalam. How big was he? Angushta Matram. As big as the thumb size. And he was effulgent with 400 forms. And Krishna protected Parikshit, and that darshan was so powerful and instantly disappeared. Like Prabhupada writes here, not everybody is as fortunate as Parikshit Maharaj, but if the parents decide, they can actually create that impression. So therefore he was named as Parikshit. Parikshit means when he came out of his mother's womb, it is said that he would crawl everywhere. Crawling into the assembly. In the Hastinapur's palace, he was crawling and he would pull the dhoti of those people, those who would have something close to Pitambari. He would pull and look like this. And then he would realize this is not Krishna. And Prabhupada writes very beautifully, that quality of examining itself is Krishna. जो भगवान के लिए शोध करना, जिज्ञासा करना, उनको ढूंढना, in fact this Goswamis of Vrindavan took this concept of constantly searching for Krishna as their theme of Vrindavan. Therefore, continuously remaining unsatisfied because I have not found Krishna is itself is Krishna consciousness. कि मुझे कृष्ण नहीं मिला, I did not find Krishna, I need to look for Krishna. Where is that Krishna? So this became a constant theme of the Goswami's literature, but it was founded in Parikshit Maharaj's natural innocent character. He was looking. The day when somebody says, I know Krishna, then he does not know anything. Just like education also. Recently we were discussing about Putana. Saraswati Thakur talks about false guru. The concept of education is like Parikshit Maharaj only. The hunger for learning doesn't stop only. The Taitra Upanishad explains that when does the student go out of his teacher's Gurukul? At some point of time the student has to walk out from Gurukul. When the teacher realizes that learning has become condition of his student, सीखना उसकी आदत बन गई है, सीखना उसकी भूख बन गई है, सीखना उसकी प्यास बन गई है. When the child becomes hungry to learn more and more, then the guru realizes that wherever this child will look, he will only learn. Now you can go this, now you can leave from this Gurukul. So Krishna similarly gave that impression to Parikshit Maharaj by giving the glimpse, a trailer dene ke karan, Parikshit Maharaj became an eternal seeker. श्रद्धा के साथ जिज्ञासा जोड़ने से पचन की शक्ति बढ़ जाती है. Therefore, contentment and complacency, they look almost the same. Most of the time, we think complacency to be contentment. आलस्य को हम समाधान समझने लगते हैं, हट को दृढ़ता समझने लगते हैं, डरपोकता को हम क्षमा कर दिया ऐसा समझने लगते हैं. But Parikshit Maharaj, he was so great. The entire Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam sometime has to approach by seeing through the eyes of Parikshit Maharaj. One has to see how Shukdev Goswami is narrating. Shukdev Goswami repeatedly connects while Shukdev Goswami is talking about detaching from worldly life, but almost all the time he connects back to Shukdev Goswami to his family members. He repeatedly talks about Pandavas. He repeatedly talks about Abhimanyu. Parikshit Maharaj also repeatedly offers his gratitude to his ancestors. Shukdev Goswami Bhagavatam explains he is so respectful to Parikshit Maharaj because his substance is not in physical detachment. His substance is in his internal stability of continuously calling out for Krishna. If we study the Pandavas family, Bhishmadev was born. Bhishmadev was born with anxiety of Shantanu Maharaj because Satyavati dropped 7 of her sons into the water. And he had married with this condition that whatever you say, I will agree. If anybody does like that, whatever the wife says or the husband says, I will agree, that is the beginning of disaster. And what she was doing, she was dropping every child. You can imagine every child is appearing, she is dropping in the river Ganga. And Shantanu, how long can you hold back? When something is unreasonable, illogical, then such restraint has a limitation because it is not natural. So then eventually there was an outburst when Bhishma was born. She was about to drop. He screamed at her, he shouted at her, and then she disappeared according to her condition. And in one sense, Bhishma grew up with a conflict. He had to stay with his mother and separated from father for many years. And that became his impression for the rest of his life till he left this world on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Constant conflict, माँ के साथ या बाप के साथ, पांडवों के साथ या कुरुकुल के साथ, धर्म के साथ या हस्तिनापुर के साथ. आशीर्वाद आपको दूंगा लेकिन युद्ध कुरु के साथ में करूंगा. Therefore, sanskaras are very powerful, that whatever we become, the sanskaras eventually come back to haunt us. Till the last breath. In fact, it is explained that when Bhishma was lying on the deathbed, eventually after he heard from Krishna, Krishna was gracious enough to him. He came back to him after hearing from Krishna, after he performed that service to speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then what happened? He decided to quit his body on that particular time, which is coming very close. And then all the arrows from his body started coming out. हर एक अस्त्र था बाण उसके शरीर से बाहर आने लगे और शरीर का छिद्र बंद होने लगा, क्योंकि जितना छिद्र खुला रखोगे उसके कारण आत्मा कंफ्यूज्ड हो जाता है किधर से निकलो। और जितने छिद्र जो शरीर के नीचे भाग के हो जाते हैं, एंड इफ आवर कॉन्शियसनेस इज नॉट हायर, देन द सोल बेसिकली escape from the lower holes of body. Because Bhishma was a great yogi, great bhakta, great ज्ञानी, अपने मरण के लिए उन्होंने सब कुछ का उपयोग किया. All the holes of the bodies were closed and the body fell on the ground. क्योंकि if you are not in the sky, if you are not in the ground, your position is like Trishanku. He didn't want to continue that conflict. तो अपने शरीर को जमीन में रख दिया और अपने प्राणों को छोड़ दिया. Other day when we were in Jagannath Puri, one devotee was telling, one of our devotee in, he would always tell his family member, मैं यात्रा में जाऊंगा, मैं यात्रा में जाऊंगा. So when he actually, one devotee from Belgaum, Dashrath Prabhu, in one of their yatras, on the very first day, he had a massive heart attack. His wife was there, and he was they were on the ground floor. होटल के बेड पे थे. तो वाइफ ने उनको खींच के जमीन पर लाया कि बेड पे मत मरो. Even in that condition, she had heard somewhere, and she brought him into the ground, and he left in her lap, touching the ground. But what a struggle for Bhishma Deva. And who caused it? His parent caused it. Similarly, Dhritarashtra, the Pandavas' family, was not easy. Dhritarashtra was born because his mother didn't want to procreate through Vyasadeva. Uske expectation, she was expecting Bhishma to come, Vyasadeva ji come, इसलिए आंखें बंद कर दी. तो धृतराष्ट्र का आंख कभी खुला ही नहीं जिंदगी भर. He never opened his eyes. So ultimately Vidura had to forcefully open his eyes for self-realization. हमेशा के लिए बंद रहे. On the other hand, Vidur, what was the impression given by his mother? She actually welcomed our Vyasadeva ji. She worshipped him. She offered her gratitude. She was aware, enlightened, grateful, and therefore that became the character of Vidur for the rest of his life. He was so enlightened, full of gratitude. In fact, Krishna in the Bhagavatam 3rd canto is explained when Uddhavji and Vidurji meet together. It's very sweet. Uddhavji is narrating Vidur about Krishna's going back to the spiritual world. And then he says, my dear Vidur, when Krishna was going back to the spiritual world, he remembered you. आपका स्मरण किया उन्होंने. और जैसे विदुर ने सुना कि कृष्ण मेरा स्मरण कर रहे थे, जब मैं उनके साथ में नहीं था, he was not there with Krishna, विदुर became overwhelmed. Who am I? What is my position? मैं कौन हूँ? मैं तो एक साधारण शूद्र हूँ, लेकिन कृष्ण मेरा स्मरण करे. To acknowledge somebody's presence is an etiquette, is a good behavior. If I see somebody, how are you? Fine. रास्ते भी लोग करते हैं ना लोग. In America they do it for everybody. But the family member they throw out. तो उन्होंने क्या किया? ये etiquette है. And then acknowledging, sending some card for their birthday, the donors, is basically remembering them, giving them attention. But there was nothing for Krishna to gain from Vidur, but still Krishna is remembering Vidur. Why? Because his entire life was full of confidence, acknowledgement, gratitude, speaking the truth. तो भगवान उनका स्मरण कर रहे थे कि विदुर मैं तुम्हारा स्मरण कर रहा हूं. एंड उद्धव हैड द ग्रेटनेस टू स्पीक. ही कुड हैव सेड, अरे व्हाई शुड आई टेल हिम, मुझे भगवान स्मरण नहीं कर रहे थे, मैं इधर ही खड़ा हूं, दूसरों का स्मरण कर रहे. कभी कभी लोग अफेंड हो जाते हैं. इफ यू मीट समबडी And if you ask them, how is your brother doing? बोले मैं खड़ा हूँ ना, मुझे बारे में पूछो. Rather than asking about my, well-being, why you're asking about somebody else? So that was the character of Vidur. And here, therefore, Parikshit Maharaj, just like his grandparents, were brought to this world consciously. Every time Pandu asked Kunti ki invoke dharma, so she did tapasya to invoke dharma. So dharma appeared. Then she asked, whom should I invoke? Then Pandu Maharaj said, dharma cannot sustain without power. धर्म के लिए, धर्म को चलाने के लिए शक्ति की आवश्यकता है. अदरवाइज धर्म सिंपली रिमेन्स इन द म्यूजियम पीस. सो इन्वोक इंद्र एंड वायु, वायु को इन्वोक किया और अर्जुन के लिए 1 साल विशेष तपस्या किया कुंती ने. एंड देयरफॉर द पांडवस अपीयरेंस इन कुंतीज लाइफ, सेम गर्भ ऑफ कुंती ऑल्सो इन्वेक्ट कर्ण. कर्ण भी आया, लेकिन कर्ण वॉज फोर्स्ड बाय सूर्य एंड फियर्ड बाय कुंती. एंड भीष्मदेव हिमसेल्फ सेज कि when he tried to convince Karna that you should change, you're son of Kunti, he said, I know, but I will not change. Then Bhishmadev says, at the time of his death, when he was lying on the deathbed, he said, what can be done? आपका जन्म धर्म लोप के कारण हुआ है, जानते हुए भी आप बदलोगे नहीं. You will remain stubborn, you will not change. In one sense, what was his fault? In other sense, he did not take the opportunity which was given to him to change. No, Kunti didn't want him because of fear, and Surya wanted to force him. So Parikshit Maharaj, therefore, repeatedly in so many places, he offers gratitude to his ancestor. When Parikshit Maharaj got to know that he has been cursed by Shringi, so when he heard that I have been cursed by Shringi, now those who defend Parikshit Maharaj, from very beginning, the curse has been taken as the will of Krishna, because ordinarily Parikshit Maharaj would not do like this. He was so sensitive, he was such a great personality, he had the gratitude given by his grandparents, and especially to the sages, he would never offer a dead snake into their neck. And he did that. He actually offered the dead snake into the neck of great Rishi, Shamik Rishi. And as he was walking towards his kingdom, he was still thinking that is it that this Rishi was faking that he is meditating? He didn't want to reciprocate. He didn't want to offer me. He was thinking I am a burden. He was reflecting. Meanwhile, Shringi cursed him. And when the news came to Parikshit Maharaj, before that only he started thinking, no, what I have done is actually not correct. And if you study Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, Prabhupada, they stand for Parikshit Maharaj. Ki this was not, he could never do such a mistake. It was all Krishna's divine will. That is the perspective of those who defend Parikshit Maharaj. At the same time, when you hear Parikshit Maharaj, what did Parikshit Maharaj do? Parikshit Maharaj took responsibility. उन्होंने बोला मैंने बहुत बहुत बुरा कर दिया, ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था, मेरे हाथ से बहुत बड़ी भूल हो गई. He said, let whatever supposed to happen, let it happen now. If something has to happen, it should happen to me, not to my family member. जो भी मुझे मिलना चाहिए वो मिलने दो, मेरा धन खत्म हो जाए, मेरा राज्य खत्म हो जाए. But let the reaction come now. Because जितना reaction देरी से आता है वो interest के साथ में आता है. It's like loan only. When you take a loan, and if you don't pay, it keeps on building. So Parikshit Maharaj was very ardent, and he actually prayed like that. And when he prayed, the news was brought to him. When the news came to Parikshit Maharaj, He didn't tell Krishna, Krishna, मैं तो ऐसा ही प्रे कर रहा था, न धनम न जनम, आपने सही में मेरे से ले लिया. No, he didn't. The whole psychology of Parikshit Maharaj, till he departs from this world, is full of gratitude. Like other day, we went to, few months back, we went to visit Shruti Prabhu. Because of the brain tumor, he basically forgets most of it. Other day he called and he said, just 3 days back, he said, where are you standing? He said, I'll come. He said, you come, I'm outside, then we'll go and talk to each other. This is how, such a active member, the brain start dysfunctioning. Even the ordinary things he cannot manage. But one thing what he always manages, which was his lifetime as a devotee, what is that? Thanking. So I was telling Maharaj, whenever you talk to him, he at least 26 times he thanked. That has become his conditioning. तो उससे बढ़कर और क्या चाहिए? If you are able to offer gratitude to those people who are connected to you, and he asked me, what can I do for you? I said, what can you not do? You have already done so much. आपका सेवा ना वो हनुमान जी के समान सेवा है. उसके कारण भगवान राम ने कहा, हनुमान जी ने आपने इतना सेवा कर दी मेरी कि अगर मैं 5 जीवन फिर से आऊंगा जन्म लेकर, तो भी आपने मेरे साथ में जो किया ना उसको मैं वापस नहीं कर पाऊंगा. So we see this. Therefore, the entire journey of Parikshit Maharaj is a journey of offering gratitude, inquiring till his last breath. So, Parikshit Maharaj, when he got to know that I have to leave from this world within 7 days, but before that, he actually lived for he ruled for 60 years. In fact, it is explained, Yudhishthira Maharaj ruled for 36 years. But Yudhishthira Maharaj's 36 years rule was infected with lot of difficulties and challenges, because Duryodhana had ruled for many years. 70 साल का रूल था दुर्योधन का. तो उसका परिणाम क्या हो गया? There was no fund. Bhagavatam explains. So whatever fund was coming was only coming from the taxation. And Yudhishthira Maharaj did not want to wage war again. So then he sent Arjun to raise funds. Dhananjay ko beja. So Yudhishthira Maharaj should deal with all the challenges of taking over the kingdom. But Parikshit Maharaj's 60 years were golden rule. Parikshit Maharaj became Arjuna externally. Valorous, powerful, enterprising, confident. And internally continue to remain Parikshit Maharaj, like recently we were discussing. A devotee's life, especially who was staying in this world. Nowadays, Vrindavan has also become a land of struggle. Unless you have money, you can't buy a jhopadi also there. Mera bhajan kutir, kitne ka hai? 5 crore ka hai. Right. If you want to do bhajan in Vrindavan also, when Sanatan Rup Goswami were doing bhajan, literally they had nothing. Sanatan Goswami could not even offer salt to Radha Madan Mohan. Madan Mohan ji was complaining, "Arey kam se kam salt to khilao." So then Lord Sanatan Goswami said, when you came to me, the condition was very clear. जो भी मेरे पास में वही आपको खाना पड़ेगा. Now you don't demand. Then Krishna can do that. Krishna sent this ship full of salt. Right. It was stuck. And then this Baba, this big shopkeeper came to Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami helped his ship to be relieved. Then he asked him, what can I do for you? He said, मेरे लिए नहीं, Madan Mohan के लिए मंदिर बनाओ. Then that person built. So Sanatan Goswami, actually they could live inside, outside what Parikshit was about to live at the time of his death. Complete renunciation, having nothing at his disposal. But those who are living in this world, the policy which Prabhupada, if you read properly, he talks about, he says the palace of the Pandavas was non different from Vrindavan because the substance was there. So therefore Parikshit Maharaj ruled for 60 years, inquiring for Krishna, looking for Krishna, and for last 7 days also he continued that process. It is not possible to give up everything abruptly and try to become Krishna conscious artificially. So these children are coming, they should not come from the very beginning saying that, Papa, what is the point of this world? They should be able to experience action without and reflection within. Like it is explained that sage without and sage within and king without. बाहर से अर्जुन, अंदर से परीक्षित महाराज. That is a harmonious life which Parikshit Maharaj practiced for so many years. So now he is sitting there, and then the sages all gathered from so many places. They asked this question: what one is supposed to do at all the times, at every place, and especially when is about to die? There is very clear understanding that Parikshit Maharaj had conclusive 7 days to live. Yes, certainly Prabhupada writes also in the Bhagavatam, at least Parikshit Maharaj had 7 conclusive days to live. But for us there is no guarantee how long we live. But the general policy is that nobody abruptly dies within 7 days. So therefore, Krishna in the Bhagavatam, Krishna in the Mahabharata, Lord Ram in the Ramayana talks about living externally dharmic life and living internally the affectionate life. Bhagwan ke prati prem andar se rakho. Other day, our school children in Gopal's garden, the 10th children, they asked this question कि प्रभु जी अभी हम लोग बाहर जा रहे हैं, and especially this batch, they never experienced any outside school. This has been their school from 1st to 10th standard. Now they are going to college. They never interacted. Most of the time they did interact, but most of the time they did not interact with anybody other than their school friends who were all devotees. तो हम कैसे व्यवहार करना चाहिए बाहर जाने के बाद? हम कांदा लहसुन नहीं खाते, हम मांस नहीं खाते, हम शराब नहीं पीते, हम ड्रग्स नहीं लेते, कैसे जाना चाहिए? The reality is, other day one student from another school, she was telling devotee's daughter, he said, Prabhuji, in my school there are 8,000 students, and about 25% of the students smoke and take drugs. One of her classmate, it's in 8th or 9th standard, it was her third boyfriend who smokes 15 cigarettes. कभी कभी क्या होता है, our parents do not understand the reality of the children, what they are going through. Like Prabhupada explains, such beautifully is explaining that my Krishna consciousness, my deity worship was suspended because of what? School and college. He is writing honestly, it was suspended, but it was not dismissed because the roots were very, very strong. Imagine during Prabhupada's time, the school and college had the power to suspend his deity worship to such an exalted devotee. What to speak of ordinary children of this world? कितना कठिन रहेगा? Now, how do I identify? जाकर बोलूं कि मैं devotee हूं? Like other day, another devotee was telling about his daughter, because this devotee, most of the time, his work everywhere, he was in dhoti kurta only. Then he told his daughter, why don't you go to college like Tilak and Punjabi? तो उसने बोला, बाबा आप कौन से जनरेशन के हो? What are you talking about? If I go like that, I'll be completely isolated. I will not learn anything. Recently, I was in another town. Another student saying that in my college, I'm in third year engineering. He said almost everyone, more than 60-70%, are doing everything which our principal opposes. कैसे हैंडल करेंगे हम लोग? So, I said there are 4 principles which you have to understand and try to implement in your life. Like today only somebody came from another town. No? And then they were telling their son, I know him, he was like a small baby, the parents were very happy. वो हर रोज मंदिर में जाता था, माता पिता का घर मंदिर के निकट ही था, और बोलते थे हमारा बेटा ना प्रहलाद जैसा ही है. Everyday reading, attending Bhagavatam class. It was not in India, some other place. Because they will, I don't want them to. So then he was attending Bhagavatam class, this Swami came, this Guru came, this devotee came. So giving Bhagavatam from early childhood without giving the other aspect of life is giving nectar of the highest dose. अमृत को बचपन से बिना उसके साथ में मिक्स करके नहीं दोगे, वो अमृत है. Nobody questions, it's a nectar only. But what it can do, it can destroy, it cannot be able to digest. उसको जीर्ण करने की क्षमता नहीं होगी. And when he came to Sultan class, then suddenly stopped coming to the temple. So parents were panicky because they were growing in a small devotee community. Everything what was happening in their family was known to everybody else. And because they were the leaders, और leader का बेटा मंदिर आना बंद कर दिया, तो example set करना पड़ता है ना. तो एग्जाम्पल सेट करने के लिए अपने बच्चों को जबरदस्ती करना पड़ता. तू मेरा नाक काट रहा है, you are basically doing this to us. Now he is doing so many things. He is still a vegetarian. No. But he has so many questions to be raised. So we are just discussing today only. I said, look, I think it is not his fault. आपने उसको परीक्षित जबरदस्ती से बनाने का प्रयास किया, तो उसका परिणाम क्या हो गया? बोलता कि मेरे पास बहुत कुछ है. कभी कभी बच्चे बोलते प्रभु जी पढ़ लिया ना अभी, मुझे सब स्टोरी कृष्ण का आता है, मुझे सब महाभारत का स्टोरी आता है, अभी मुझे हैरी पॉटर पढ़ना है, उसके बाद में और कुछ पढ़ना है, उसके बाद में और कुछ पढ़ना है. बट पांडवास टॉट एवरीथिंग टू परीक्षित महाराज. If you read the Bhagavatam, Yudhishthira Maharaj asked this question after he was born, कि can you tell me what are the qualities of Parikshit Maharaj? So then he said that this son of yours, basically their grandson, because Abhimanyu had already left, he said this son, this Parikshit Maharaj will be as good as Yayati in regards to following dharma. Now if you study Yayati's character, Yayati is not a great devotee. But they are comparing Parikshit Maharaj to Yayati. In regards to what? In regards to being dharmic. And then he said, in regards to shooting arrows, Parikshit Maharaj will be as good as 2 Arjunas. One is Arjun and second is Kartivirya Arjun. Now Kartivirya Arjun is not a great personality, but they are comparing Parikshit to Kartivirya Arjun. In regards to giving dan, he will be as good as Shivi Maharaj, who is the king of Ushinar. Now Shivi Maharaj is the pious king, but not necessarily a great devotee. But the Bhagavatam compares Parikshit Maharaj to the character of Shivi Maharaj in regards to charity. In regards to following, ruling, and being a great example, he's like Lord Ram. He'll be like Manu. He'll be like Lord Brahma. He'll be like Lord Shiva, extremely magnanimous. And he'll be like Lord Narayan in regard to being resolved to all of his citizens. And he'll be like Lord Krishna because he follows Lord Krishna. Bhagwan ke piche piche, like one of the names of Arjun is called as Krishna. Why is he Krishna? Some explanation is that it's Krishna because it's darkish. But other explanation is, better explanation is that because Arjuna was constantly thinking about Krishna, he had become Krishnite. Hridayananda Maharaj writes in the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam, when you think about Krishna, you walk claiming that you are Krishna's devotee, you are addressed as what? Oh, the Krishnas are going there. The Krishnites are going there. The Krishnites are going there. So in this way, Parikshit Maharaj became an all-round personality. So I told the children, first identity is that following the universal principle. When you talk to your friends, if you're talking about universal principle, which is called as dharmic identity, the universal identity, कि पानी बहता है, talk this kind of things, which is universal. They will not challenge you because they can understand evil, good, bad, based upon this principle. कहाँ भी देखोगे, that is the principle. Second is cultural principle. What is it? Cultural principle based upon your local identity. Bharatiyata. Now, one of the reasons why Americans were able to immediately reject Americanness, because there is a natural guilt. If you are little sensitive about the history of America, if you are a refined human being, you don't want to identify with America because America represents invasion of an outsider towards the local 20 crore people. How will you identify an American? Na Ganga hai, na Jamuna hai, na Himalaya hai. But the second identity, the Bharati identity, what do you say Bharat means? In the Bhagavatam 5th canto it is explained, Tulsi is glorified so much. Now this is in the Bhagavatam. Tulsi is glorified so much because she performed tapasya in this land. The Bharat identity is not the political one. The Bharat identity is not the, India will become a superpower. The identity of Bharat is based upon Jamuna, Ganga, Saraswati, Kaveri, Himalaya, Narmada, Krishna. केवल नदियों के द्वारा, इनके पर्वतों के द्वारा, इनके साथ आइडेंटिफाई करने से you feel some kind of divine experiences. कितने लोग गंगा के तट पर जाते हैं, न शिवा के भक्त होते न कृष्ण के भक्त होते, लेकिन जैसे गंगा के तट पर बैठ गए उनकी आंखें बंद हो जाती है. ऐसा कौन सा रिवर है जिसे नदी के तट पर बैठने के बाद आपको होता है? Therefore, it is a cultural identity. If you do not identify properly, then you will have to have an identification of something else. If you talk so many children who are not raised or not given this understanding, they force themselves to have an identity which is not their identity. They want to be called as Australians. They want to be called as an American. They want to be called as Singaporean. They want to be called as Malaysians. But it is an artificial identity. I said this is the second one. Talk about it to your friends. इसमें easy है बात करने के लिए. And third identity is the culture of limitless diversity. अगर कोई भी अपने देवता की पूजा कर रहा है, अपने ग्राम देवी की पूजा कर रहा है, दिवाली कर रहा है, दसरा कर रहा है, ये सब कुछ कर रहा है, appreciate that. When Trinavarta was killed by Krishna, all the Vrajavasis, they offered their prayers. They said, because we built so many wells, because we gave charity, because we worship our ancestors, कृतज्ञताओं का अर्पण किया, हमने नारायण की पूजा की, इसलिए कृष्ण बच गया. So Prabhupada writes that Brajavasis are very nishpap, उनके अंदर निष्पाप भक्ति है, and Prabhupada writes there, by doing this, even materially we become stable. Materially हम stable बन जाते हैं, and with Krishna one grows in life very nicely. And I said the fourth identity is your Vaishnava identity, which is a very personal. One is global, second is national, the second is cultural, third is the Hindu identity, and the fourth one is your Vaishnava identity. And what is the Vaishnava identity? You have to catch. ऐसे ही किसी को जाकर आपने कृष्ण को बोल दिया, वो लोग फिर आपको बोलेंगे अरे तुम्हारा कृष्ण ये करता था, वो करता था. So then you will be threatened by their aggression on you. You have to become like positive Putana. पुतना क्या कर रही थी? साथ में सारे बच्चों को नहीं मार रही थी, वो एक एक को पकड़ रही थी, एक को दूध पिलाती थी, उसको मारती थी. बोले इससे आपको वैसे ही करना है, आपको पॉजिटिव पुतना बनना है, देखना है कि किसके अंदर वो गंभीरता है कृष्ण भक्ति के बारे में सुनने के लिए. ऐसे करने से क्या होगा? then you will proceed further, then you will interact with your friends, you will not be isolated. अगर कोई पूछा तो कांदा लहसुन क्यों नहीं खाता है? अरे बचपन से अच्छा नहीं लगता है. अगर पहले से बोल दिया मेरे माँ नहीं खिलाने क्योंकि वो हरे कृष्ण मंदिर में जाती थी इसलिए मैं भी नहीं खाती हूँ, तो क्या होगा? At least when we spoke like that, I think the children should, oh, this makes sense. Yes, I know many will not agree with, but I don't care. They were there with me, so I gave this understanding to them, because their reality is not very easy. When Parikshit Maharaj took over also, the reality is not very, but he built a beautiful society, learned everything. Even Prahlad Maharaj, when we talk about Prahlad, Nast Krida na ko bolo jadavatan manastaya, कि प्रहलाद ने कुछ खेला ही नहीं, आसक्त नहीं था और नहीं खेला में बहुत बड़ा अंतर है. Many times, many devotees, not now, before, they would make children should not play because वो प्रहलाद बनना है. अगर वो प्रहलाद बनना है तो खेलना नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि खेला ही नहीं प्रहलाद. अगर वो खेला ही नहीं तो घोड़सवारी कैसे किया? अगर वो खेला नहीं तो तलवार कैसे चलाया? अगर वो पढ़ा नहीं तो न्याय कैसे दिया? So Prahlad learned all this thing, but the point Narad Muni is telling Yudhishthira Maharaj, Nasta Kridanako, he was not attached to sports, but as the son of a royal family, he learned everything what is required to rule a kingdom, and along with that, he was always conscious of Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada explains, Prahlad means what? Prakrishta Rupena Allhada. जो प्राकृतिक रूप से, स्वाभाविक रूप से वो कृष्ण भावना बने हुए थे. So now Parikshit Maharaj is seeing all the sages gathered there. He asked this question, and being attracted by Parikshit, Shukdev Goswami comes. That was his first Bhagavatam lesson in his life. इसके पहले Shukdev Goswami ने कभी क्लास नहीं किया था. He would always be absorbed in Krishna. He would not stay in any place. Shukdev Goswami glorifies, Parikshit Maharaj glorifies Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami never stayed in a place more than milking the cow. अगर किसी के घर पे जाते थे, उनको दूध निकाल कर देते, वहां से निकल जाते थे. Such a renunciation. In fact, it is explained, Vyasdev ji taught Mahabharata also to Shukdev Goswami, but उनको उसमें कोई टेस्ट नहीं आया, क्योंकि दुनिया से कुछ लेना देना था ही नहीं है. न कभी वो प्रेसिडेंट बने, न जीबीसी बने, न गुरु भी बने, न पति बने, न पत्नी बने. He remained a traveling monk constantly. He did not worry about asking for clothes also. He didn't worry about the kitchen also. Right? इतना वैराग्य था, तो उनको कैसे बाकी धर्मार्थ को मोक्ष से संबंधित ग्रंथों को में रुचि आ सकती है? लेकिन पिताजी ने सिखाया उनको. But he did not develop a taste. Such Shukdev Goswami, when he heard that Parikshit Maharaj is cursed to leave his body within 7 days, Bhagavatam explains he was attracted to Parikshit Maharaj. वो आए उधर और कितने दिन तक रहे? 7 दिन तक रहे. और कितने लोग थे वहां सुनने के लिए? 80,000 60,000 लोग बैठे थे। कहां से कौन कौन लोग आए थे देखने के लिए। परीक्षित महाराज इज अबाउट टू डिपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस वर्ल्ड एंड शुकदेव गोस्वामी इज गोइंग टू स्पीक द भागवतम. In fact, he made the Bhagavatam more sweeter. Vyasdev ji writes in the introduction, because this Bhagavatam has been already it's a mature fruit of all the Vedas, but now it has become more tasty because it is coming from the lips of Shukdev Goswami. It has become more tasty. So then when he came, again Parikshit Maharaj, basically he offered his gratitude. He said, my dear Lord, you have come here not because of me. कि मेरे कनेक्शन के कारण. मेरा कनेक्शन किनके साथ में? मेरे परिवार के साथ में. और मेरे परिवार के लोग कौन थे? वो पांडव थे. उनका संबंध था भगवान के साथ. इसलिए उनका स्मरण करते हुए, उनको कृतज्ञता व्यक्त करते हुए, आप यहाँ भगवान की कृपा से आप मेरे पास आए हो, ये मेरा भाग्य है. मैं कौन हूं? मैं एक साधारण क्षत्रिय हूं. आई एम नॉट इवन अ प्रॉपर क्षत्रिय. आई एम अ फॉलन क्षत्रिय, बट यू हैव कम टू मी. इट इज माई गुड फॉर्चून. इट इज ओनली पॉसिबल बिकॉज ऑफ कृष्णस ग्रेस. नाउ यू प्लीज टेल मी what am I supposed to do at this stage when I'm about to leave my body? That was the second inquiry. The first inquiry in the Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj does. Of course, he had done many inquiries, but what is recorded in the Bhagavatam is the inquiry of when Parikshit Maharaj saw, he was traveling across. थोड़ा सा glimpse दिया है कि परीक्षित महाराज क्या करते थे राजा बनकर. He was traveling and he saw someone, dressed like a king, but he was not from a royal family. He didn't had a royalty. अगर वो रॉयल फैमिली का होता था तो गाय के प्रति कुछ गलत नहीं करता था. Very simple principle. If somebody speaks ill about the cows, that shows there is no sensitivity in their character. If somebody drinks the milks of the cow, there is a village in Maharashtra, one cowherd man, his goal has been, whenever newborn baby is born, after some months, some days, whenever the child is supposed to drink milk externally, वो गाय का, देशी गाय का दूध देता है उस परिवार को. हर रोज फ्रेश गाय का दूध जाएगा. एंड whoever child drinks that milk, it has been recorded since he is doing many years, काफी वृद्ध है वो, जो उस दूध को पीता है वो बच्चा कभी शराब को स्पर्श नहीं करेगा. उसको स्पर्श नहीं कर पाएगा. बिकॉज द मिल्क ऑफ द काउ इज सो गुड, वो शराब नहीं पाएगा. लेकिन बचपन से जिसको शराब पिलाया है वो दूध को भी स्पर्श नहीं कर पाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि उसके संस्कार वैसे बन जाते हैं. सो देयरफॉर Parikshit Maharaj begins by interrogating that Kali, that person who was attacking that cow and bull. And when he saw them, he asked this question, who is doing this to you? Who are you? आपके साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? And Dharma personified, very brilliant, very beautiful. Dharma did not give clear answer. धर्म है वो स्पष्ट उत्तर नहीं देता. वो कहता है कि कई लोग कहते हैं कि मेरे समस्या के कारण मेरा मन ही है, मेरे समस्या का कारण, एवरी प्रॉब्लम हैज टू हैव सम रीजन. सो धर्म इज बेसिकली डिस्कसिंग अ फिलोसफिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग. इट कुड बी माई ओन सेल्फ, इट कुड बी सम एक्सटर्नल सेल्फ, इट कुड बी ऑर्डन बाय द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड, it could be my karma. He said it is not very easy to ascertain who is the perpetrator. ये बहुत कठिन है बोलने के लिए. Just see, if you study Gita, if you study Bhagavatam, if you study our scripture, they do not talk about right and wrong. They talk about action and consequences. क्रिया और प्रतिक्रिया की बात करते हैं. Because what is right and what is wrong, it is not very easy to ascertain. It is not black and white. So because when परीक्षित महाराज को इस प्रकार से धर्म ने उत्तर दिया, परीक्षित महाराज नहीं जानते थे कि धर्म है, then परीक्षित महाराज said, you have to be dharma. आप धर्म ही हो सकते हो. You cannot be other than dharma, because you are so sensitive, you understand the principle कि if you ascertain, if you pinpoint that this person is cause of my pain, a perpetrator is a criminal. But the person who identifies the perpetrator is also as good as the person who has committed the crime. इसीलिए क्या आप आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर रहे हो? परीक्षित महाराज entire life as a king, he must have punished hundreds of people. External punishment उन्होंने दिया होगा. While punishing the criminal externally, he did not make them criminal internally. भौतिक दृष्टिकोण से, बाह्यात्कारी दृष्टिकोण से उन्होंने दंड दिया, लेकिन they never became criminal internally for him. नहीं तो ऐसा कोई उत्तर नहीं दे सकता. परीक्षित महाराज कोई वृंदावन में रहने वाले बाबा जी नहीं थे कि मैं किसी को दंड नहीं देता हूं. उन्होंने काफी लोगों को दंड दिया, इधर दे रहे थे. He was giving danda to that Shudra. What to speak of giving danda? Parikshit Maharaj gone to hunt also. That means he was keeping himself active in killing animals, because if he does not kill animals, how will he kill the culprits? अगर राजा को दंड देने की क्षमता नहीं हो, एक हमारे डिवोटी पुलिस ऑफिसर बन गए थे, तो काफी चर्चा हुई थी भक्ति रसामृत महाराज या अलग अलग लोगों से, पुलिस ऑफिसर बनना चाहिए क्या? क्योंकि पुलिस ऑफिसर बनेगा तो फिर गाली देना पड़ता है, लाठी चलानी पड़ती है, तो वैष्णव अपराध हो जाएगा, जीव का भी अपराध नहीं करना चाहिए. So then somebody convinced him, discussed with him. He also wanted to be, basically he was from Maharashtra and Maratha blood. He became a deputy police commissioner. तो पहले ही उसके पोस्टिंग में he had to handle the riot. 10,000 लोग जम गए थे, तो उनके पुलिस कमिश्नर ने ऑर्डर दे दिया, उनका नाम था हिम्मतराव, चलो गोली चलाओ. तो उन्होंने किसी को फोन किया, आता काय करायचं? तो क्या करने का? Then that devotee, fortunately, he was more of Bhagavad Gita follower. So he said, not me, huh? मेरे पास नहीं आया था. So then he said, no, you are supposed to perform your duty. If you don't shoot, then the unruly crowd will cause more violence. Or when he shot his first bullet, shooting below the belt, but on the very first bullet only, that man died after 2 days. He lost his life. But because he shot the bullet below the belt, entire crowd dispersed. क्योंकि वो लोग योद्धा नहीं थे. They were not the warriors. Warriors होते, they will stay there and fight. Because they are ordinary people. जैसे ही गोली चला तो भाग गए उधर से. So therefore, Parikshit Maharaj, even though he had actually punished, but internally he was very clear कि वो क्रिमिनल नहीं है, और धर्म इसको आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर रहा है कि इफ यू आइडेंटिफाई द परपिट्रेटर, यू आर एज गुड एज द पर्सन हु हैज कमिटेड द क्राइम. इसलिए आप आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर रहे हो, एंड दैट मस्ट बी धर्म. एंड एज लॉन्ग एज द ग्रैंड सन ऑफ द पांडवास इज अराउंड, he said, this will never be allowed to happen. Just see the confidence of Parikshit Maharaj. And it never went away from him. Parikshit Maharaj में जो भाव था ना, ईश्वरी भाव, मुझे दूसरों की रक्षा करनी चाहिए, कभी निकला ही नहीं. Even when he was sitting on the bank of Ganga hearing the Bhagavatam, at one point of time, Shukdev Goswami begins to narrate Krishna Leela. And how does he narrate? He says, एक बार क्या हुआ वृंदावन में. He comes to Vrindavan Leela. He said, पूतना बाल घातिनी आ गई. वो खेचरी थी, उड़ के आ गई. और आ गई, वो क्या करती थी? बच्चों को मारती थी. वो बच्चों को मारने वाली पूतना थी. Shukadeva Goswami is narrating the story and suddenly stop the story and starts glorifying the holy name. कृष्ण का नाम कितना महान है. अगर कोई कृष्ण का स्मरण कर लेता है तो कृष्ण के स्मरण मात्र से जो भी बाधाएं है, भूत की बाधा है, जो काला जादू है, वो सब अपने आप चला जाता है. Even if you say 3 times Krishna, 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 Vishnu, 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 therefore Aushadam Chintet Vishnu, Prabhupada writes there. So why did Shukadeva Goswami narrate this story of the greatness of the holy name when he was telling him the story of Putana coming to Vrindavan? Because Shukadeva Goswami saw Parikshit Maharaj became agitated. लेकिन मैं इधर हूं तो कृष्ण के ऊपर पुतना अटैक कैसे कर सकते हैं? He was about to remove तलवार. क्योंकि प्रोटेक्शन का भाव था ना. द स्पिरिट ऑफ अ क्षत्रिय ऑलवेज स्टेड विथ हिम एंड देयरफॉर ही वाज रेडी टू राइज एंड अटैक लाइक कुलशेखर महाराज. वेयर डिड ही लर्न फ्रॉम? ही लर्न फ्रॉम परीक्षित महाराज ओनली. यू नो, ऑल द किंग्स however bhajan they do, when they see that some great devotee are in difficulty, माला बाजू में रख के हाथ में तलवार ले लेते वो लोग, क्योंकि वो स्पिरिट है उनका. So therefore Shukadeva Goswami told Parikshit Maharaj, no, don't worry. You know, कृष्णा का नाम sufficient है आपको बचाने के लिए. तो कृष्णा अपने आप को क्या नहीं कर पाएंगे, तो तुम बैठ के कथा सुनो. But he appreciated that character of Parikshit Maharaj. So then when Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, Kali took shelter of Parikshit Maharaj. And what was the spirit of the Pandavas? The spirit of the Pandavas was anyone who takes shelter, you forgive them. So the sages, they asked, why? Why did he do this? Then Suta Goswami explains, Are Parikshit Maharaj was known for grasping the essence of life. Saranga eva sara bhuk. कि वो जानते थे कि सार क्या है. अगर मैं कली को छोड़ दिया, इफ आई लिव कली, कलयुग हैज द पावर, जितना युग खराब है उतना आसान है भगवान के निकट आने के लिए, बिकॉज इट इंक्रीजेज द डेस्परेशन. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ डिस्ट्रॉइंग कली, परीक्षित महाराज गिव प्लेस टू कली इन 4 places. Wherever there is gambling, wherever there is intoxication, wherever there is meat eating, wherever there is no, वो बाद में आएगा, illicit sex. He said that is the place you can stay. Parikshit said that means मुझे तो यहाँ जगह मिलेगा ही नहीं. In your kingdom these things do not exist. Give me one more place. Then Parikshit Maharaj said, wherever people hold gold, वहाँ ये आएगा. One Vaishnav gave a very interesting understanding. In the temples, big temples, there is a holding of limitless gold. Now the purpose of temple is not only to decorate the deities. Naturally, that is one of the main aspects. But the temple are also meant to educate people. अगर वो जो धन आया है उसको विद्या के लिए उपयोग नहीं करेंगे, तो क्या होगा? वो गलत काम के लिए उपयोग हो जाएगा. When Prabhupada came to Balaji's temple, he said, बालाजी को इतना पैसा आता है तो बालाजी के ग्लोरीज, बालाजी के नियम, बालाजी के शास्त्रों को प्रसार करने के लिए इसका धन उपयोग होना चाहिए. अगर ऐसा नहीं होगा तो गलत काम के लिए होगा. दिस इज द हिस्ट्री. When the invasion happened, when Somnath Mandir, so much of hoarding of gold was there. So basically the temple are the place not only receiving the charity, they are supposed to distribute also. On behalf of Krishna, they are supposed to distribute charity, because if the wealth is stored, when money is centralized, when power is centralized, when the resources are centralized, that attracts the attention of evil forces. फिर उस पावर के लिए, उस पोजीशन के लिए, उस पैसे के लिए संघर्ष होने लगता है। अदर डे आई हैड गॉन टू वन प्लेस, उस परिवार में एक घर में 25 लोग रहते हैं। तो जब मैं किसी बच्चों को, किसी डिवोटी को बोला, आई वेंट टू वन फैमिली देयर आर 25 पीपल, दे सेड किसी मुसलमान के घर पे गया था क्या? दैट इज द क्वेश्चन दे आस्क्ड मी। I said, no, one of the member is a devotee. 5 brothers, their 5 wives, 10 children, father and mother, 3-4 गाय, 4-5 गाड़ी, सब कुछ है. First son is married 20 years ago. The last one is married 8 years ago. 25 लोग साथ में रहते हैं. तो मैं ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड नहीं हुआ. But it is very nice to, I ask them, what is the disadvantage of staying together like this? Because every situation has an advantage and a disadvantage. Then we were discussing, I said, this is like a museum piece. ये कभी ऐसा होता ही नहीं है. And the nice point is that one of the son who has become a devotee, every Sunday, the entire family sits together. Fortunately, they listen to him. सबके लोग अपने भाई उसको सुनते हैं, माता पिता भी बैठकर सुनते हैं, बच्चे भी सुनते हैं. एंड आई वाज आस्किंग वन ऑफ देयर ओल्डेस्ट फैमिली मेंबर हु इज 20-year-old, बिकॉज दे आर फ्रॉम आंध्र प्रदेश, बिकॉज आंध्रा इज देयर डेस्टिनेशन बिफोर दे गो टू बालाजी. दे लव बालाजी, बट द डेस्टिनेशन इज अमेरिका. Almost everybody goes there, those who are engineer, educated. So they're asking those girls, what will happen, where will you get married? They said, हम लोग यहाँ इस वातावरण को छेड़कर नहीं जाएंगे. We'll get married, but we want to be connected. I said, can you imagine when you get married to a nuclear family, तू और तेरा पति, कितना बोरिंग रहेगा आपके लिए? Because you experience such a diversity. Such a diversity. So, when such resources are collected in one place, what does it do? It attracts the attention of evil forces. इसलिए बहुत प्रयास करना पड़ता है उसको रक्षा करने के लिए. Therefore, somebody says, Banasur represents centralizing all the power and the resources. तो जैसे अब अगर आप रिसोर्सेस को एक जगह में करोगे, उसका परिणाम क्या होगा? वो बाणासुर इतना भयंकर बन जाता है. कृष्ण हैज टू रिमूव हिज 998 हैंड्स, और बोला 2 ही रख, बाकी मत रखना. सो देयरफॉर परीक्षित महाराज बेसिकली वेर वे gold, he gave him the place to stay wherever his gold is hoarded. He is not saying gold is bad, लेकिन जब बहुत मात्रा में गोल्ड रखा जाता है तो क्या होगा? वहां कली का आक्रमण होगा. आजकल तो लोग कुछ पहनते ही नहीं है. Nobody, basically there are 2 kinds of energies. There is feminine energy and there is a masculine energy. Nowadays people exhibit too much of masculine energy. And only masculine energy creates brutality, aggression. We only talk about efficiency. We talk about deadlines. We talk about competency. This is all masculine energy. If masculine energy is not flavored with feminine energy, male are becoming more male, female are also becoming male, तो उसका परिणाम क्या हो जाता है? वहाँ जोर से झगड़ा होने लगता है. Therefore, if you study, even Rajasthani people, Gujarati people, Marathi people, even though they are male, they would wear colorful dress. पूरा कलरफुल ड्रेस पहनते थे. कोई फेस्टिवल में, कुछ खेती में जा रहे, पगड़ी डालते थे. So what would do? It would balance those energies. And the girls and the ladies घर पे जाते समय, it is not simply rituals. इसके पीछे इतना बड़ा विज्ञान है. पैर के जो क्या कहते हैं उसको, पायल हो, हाथ में कंकण हो, कान में ईयर रिंग हो, they would make a beautiful sound. So feminine energy is dancing in the house. तो उसका परिणाम क्या होता था? that would create a beautiful balance between the two. In fact, even the Greek philosopher talks about it, that feminine energy represents refinedness, magnanimity, aesthetic sense, beauty, creativity, compassion, gratitude, ये सारे feminine energy है. And masculine energy represents discipline, efficiency, orderliness, क्रिएटिविटी को एग्जीक्यूशन करना. ये दोनों एनर्जी रहने की आवश्यकता है. एंड यू सी परीक्षित महाराज फॉर दैट मैटर had this understanding. Therefore, where the gold is hoarded, जब इस श्लोक को पढ़ने के बाद कितने लोगों ने जो बेसिक्स रिक्वायरमेंट है ना उसको भी छोड़ देते हैं. वो कलरफुलनेस को छोड़ देते हैं, जैसे लगता है कि सब लोग स्मशान के लिए जा रहे हैं. There has to be colorfulness. And therefore, Parikshit Maharaj, therefore, Shukdev, Suta Goswami is glorifying Parikshit Maharaj as knowing the principle of essence. And after giving that great welcome to Shukdev Goswami, he asked this question, and Shukdev Goswami started to speak to Parikshit Maharaj. And the beauty of the Bhagavatam is, Parikshit's question became responsible for entire canto also. In the 7th canto of the Bhagavatam, in 6th canto of the Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj is hearing about Indra coming to the house of Diti, because Diti had taken a vow that I will kill Indra because he killed my, responsible for killing my son. So when she took that vow, she is doing that vrata, and Indra got to know कि उसके गर्भ में एक कोई पुत्र है. So Indra came to serve her, and when he saw that she was little inattentive, he basically cut those child and made into 49 marutas. So in that, Shukdev Goswami slightly discussed about Lord Vishnu taking the side of demons. थोड़ा सा उन्होंने उसको touch किया. And in the 7th canto of the beginning, Parikshit Maharaj raised this question. He said, Shukdev Goswami, tell me, how can Lord be partial? He is supposed to be equal to both Indra and the Rakshasas, but why is he siding the Devatas at the cost of the demons? I want to know about this. So slightly Parikshit Maharaj ko Shukdev Goswami ne kaha tha. And then hearing this, Shukdev Goswami became so fascinated, and he said, my dear Parikshit, there is no such thing as Pakshapat in Lord Vishnu. जिस प्रकार से लोग अपने गुणों को प्रस्तुत करते हैं, उस प्रकार से भगवान उनके साथ में प्रतिसाद करते हैं. And then he said, many years ago, just like you are asking this question, why Lord is partial, your grandfather had asked this question after the Rajasuya sacrifice was over. उसमें प्रश्न पूछा था. And basically, what was the question of Yudhishthira Maharaj? What did Yudhishthira Maharaj say? Yudhishthira Maharaj say Shishupal's death caused Shishupal's soul entered into the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Yudhishthira Maharaj shocked. बोले ये जन्म लेते ही, just like Parikshit Maharaj looking for Krishna as he was born, Shishupal was looking to give gali to Krishna since he was born. मतलब उसके मुंह से बचपन से गाली निकलता था. तो इसलिए वो कहते हैं कि ही गॉट डिलीवर्ड. उसको तो व्हाइट लेप्रेसी होना चाहिए था, उसकी जिह्वा छिद्र होना चाहिए, तो ऐसे कैसे हो गया? हाउ कैन बी गॉड सो मैग्नानिमस? इसके विपरीत प्रश्न पूछा था, और उसका परिणाम क्या हो गया? Shukdev Goswami narrated to Parikshit Maharaj what Narad Muni narrated to Yudhishthira Maharaj. The entire 7th canto appeared simply because of one question raised by Parikshit Maharaj. देखो कितने अलर्टली वो सुन रहे थे इन द 10th कैंटो. उसके पहले इफ यू स्टडी अगेन, Parikshit Maharaj is also asking in the 2nd canto, he says, my dear Shukdev Goswami, please explain to me the entire functioning of the material nature. Prakriti ke bare mein mujhe sunao. And then he assures Parikshit Shukdev Goswami, he says, my dear Lord, do not hesitate. Do not worry about, I am not thirsty, I am not hungry. मुझे कोई इसकी चिंता नहीं है. एक राजा है ना, एक क्षत्रिय है, एक कॉन्फिडेंस है उसमें. ही इज गिविंग अश्योरेंस टू शुकदेव गोस्वामी दैट डोंट मेक योर कथा वेरी शॉर्ट. ओनली व्हेन ही गिव दैट अश्योरेंस टू परीक्षित शुकदेव गोस्वामी, then Shukdev Goswami started narrating. In the 2nd canto, it talks about creative energy. Then he asked this question about why did Vidur, what did he ask from Uddhav? So then there is a discussion between Uddhav and Vidur, and from there Maitri ka conversation aa gaya. And then again in the 5th canto, in the conclusion of the 5th canto, this is very brilliant character of Parikshit. Many devotees, even Bhaktivinoda Thakur discusses about this. Now Shukdev Goswami is narrating the structure of the universe. Then he discusses about hellish planet. Then he discusses about heavenly planet. Now description of heavenly planet is so fascinating. Many times the 5th canto of the Bhagavatam, the description of heavenly planet has caused people to lose faith. They have dropped out. अरे ऐसा सब description है भागवतम में, चले जाओ. We can't take it. The tree, उधर से जूस निकल रहा है, फिर वो जूस का गोल्ड बन रहा है. ये सुनकर कितने लोग सोचते कि what is this description? So it is explained the 5th canto is like a gate. Because 6th canto begins with Krishna nourishing the devotees. Let us study what Parikshit Maharaj does. When he heard the description of hellish and heavenly planet did not make any impression on Parikshit Maharaj. It did not bother to him. And Shukdev Goswami is confident, इसको बोलने से परीक्षित महाराज में कोई इंप्रेशन नहीं होगा. कभी कभी हम लोग शास्त्र लोगों को बोलते नहीं है, ये सोचकर वो bewildered हो जाएंगे. Other day we were discussing, there was some meeting with Maharaj. And we see that many times those who are authorities, they are overprotective of their subordinates. And their protection at sometimes it becomes an obsession. Protection turns out to be interrogation. Protection turns out to be suspicion. तो उसका परिणाम क्या होता है कि सामने वाला ग्रोथ नहीं होता. And then sometimes they become dictators about dealing with their subordinates. Something recently happened. Then Maharaj told very interesting point. He said Prabhupada had a natural innocence. व्यवहार था उनमें, लेकिन साथ में एक निष्पापता भी थी. And that innocence gave rise to confidence in his subordinates. And confidence gives rise to empowerment. और एम्पावरमेंट करने के बाद गलती हो सकती है. आई रिमेंबर ड्यूरिंग श्रीनाथ जी प्रभु's some birthday celebration when he was here in this world, Keshav Prabhu was speaking about how when he came back from America to join his father, he asked him to do something separately, independently. He said, Papa, I don't know anything. इसमें पैसा loss हो गया तो? And Srinath Ji Prabhu said, it is not loss. It is an investment in your learning. इसमें क्या होगा, मेरा 1 crore जाएगा. He could afford 1 crore to lose. But the point is, if he learns so much by that, it is worth an investment. So, we see this, that the real devotees with the proper understanding do not fear speaking the scriptural understanding at the right time. We are not saying that any time. Another time, Maharaj was mentioning that many years back there was one guru, a teacher, he would not bring his students, disciples to bigger festivals. Why he would not bring? He would say that if my disciples come to this festival and if my disciples see that my God brothers are not treating me the way they treat me, so they will be bewildered. Because for a guru, for a disciple, guru is supreme. But for a God brother, guru is a friend. जब गुरु के संबंधों को एक ही दृष्टिकोण से देखने के लिए जबरदस्ती कर रहे हो तो विद्यार्थियों का ग्रोथ नहीं होगा. They should also be in a healthy way exposed to understand that just like my guru is my guru is also somebody's God brother. He has that other aspect also. Right. So, Parikshit Maharaj will continue. So, Shukdev Goswami was able to express everything to Parikshit Maharaj at the right place. And then giving him all the full explanation. And then in the 8th canto, he talked about Bali Maharaj ke saath Bhagwan ne aisa kyun kiya? And Parikshit Maharaj being a seeker, he does not hesitate to ask this question. He felt that Vamandev is not acting rightly in taking everything away from Vamandev, Bali Maharaj. मतलब मुझे प्रश्न आ रहा है कि ऐसा क्यों किया? I understand Vamandev is Lord Vishnu, but at the same time I understand that what he did with Bali Maharaj doesn't sound to be right. Then Shukdev Goswami congratulated Parikshit Maharaj and then again narrated the entire story of Bali Maharaj's devotion. Then Parshuram ji के बारे में प्रश्न पूछा. Even there in the 9th canto is very close. Parikshit Maharaj raised this question. My dear Shukdev Goswami, Shukracharya is a Brahman. Yayati is a Kshatriya. How is it possible? How this happened that Shukracharya's daughter Devayani married to Yayati, who is a Kshatriya, a pratilom vivaha kaise hua? Marriage board. When is he discussing? In the 9th canto. If it was an ordinary subject matter, apparently it's an ordinary subject matter. Prabhupada speaking, Parikshit Maharaj is looking for Krishna, not finding Krishna. The aspect of looking for Krishna itself is Krishna. Kitna sundar hai wo? So then he asked that question. Then he asked about the question of the Yaduk, अपने सूर्य वंश के बारे में पूछा. And then अलग अलग मनुओं के बारे में पूछा. The entire description of Bali Maharaj comes because he wanted to know about more kulas. कुल धर्म के बारे में पूछ रहे थे. Then after discussing about Chandra Vamsha, Surya Vamsha and Chandra Vamsha, then Parikshit Maharaj, it's almost like maybe 5 days are over. Then he asked, now please, I want to hear about Krishna's divine pastime. Why did he appear? Now, how is it possible that when Rohini was carrying Sankarshan, how was she transferred to Devaki was carrying, how she was transferred to Rohini's womb? How did Krishna was taken to Vrindavan? How long did he stay in Mathura? Pura specific detail पूछ रहे. And then he said, my dear Shukdev Goswami, why did Krishna kill his own uncle, mother's brother? ऐसे मारना शास्त्रों के विरुद्ध है. तो भगवान ने ऐसे क्यों किया? Parikshit Maharaj did not hesitate to express his limitation, his doubts. One of the beauty of our scripture other day, Radhika Vallabh Prabhu was asking, we were discussing, and in the Mahabharata, Kunti, if you study, Kunti expresses, she became threatened by Madri with one mantra she brought two sons. You read in the Mahabharata. She said, I will not give one more mantra. I said, how can she do it? The question was raised. But Vyasdev, the beauty of Vyasdev is, what does he do? He does not hesitate to express the limitation of the great people also. But their limitation does not minimize their greatness. In fact, their limitation tells us that everybody has a human side also. इसलिए कभी कभी I was discussing with Priyavrat. Many times those who are in position, they unfortunately fake strength. कि मेरे पास कोई weakness नहीं है, मैं weak नहीं बन सकता हूँ. I cannot experience fear. I cannot experience weakness. I have to present. I have to set an example. They are more interested in setting an example instead of experiencing life. तो क्या होता है, खोखला बन जाता है कि केवल दूसरों के लिए उदाहरण बनने के लिए जीना, ये जीना नहीं है. दूसरों को उदाहरण बनना जो देखता है उसका उत्तरदायित्व है कि आई वॉन्ट टू टेक दिस पर्सन एज माई एग्जाम्पल. So therefore, expressing the limitation, crying tears when it is required, it releases people from the pain. They understand the life is designed like this. So Parikshit Maharaj को जब भी 10th canto में Parikshit's question becomes more and more, because Krishna Lila is like that only. Till the 9th canto his questions are less. And if you study in the 10th canto, almost every other chapter, Parikshit Maharaj is raising question. Arey Krishna ne aisa kyun kiya? Why did you do this? When he raised this question, of course our acharyas explain that, Parikshit Maharaj, after seeing so many people around him, he became alert that these are not Krishna's devotees. उनके लिए भी प्रश्न करना चाहिए. That is also correct. But Parikshit Maharaj अपने लिए भी प्रश्न कर रहे थे. And then Shukdev Goswami narrated beautifully. When he was narrating childhood pastimes of Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj said, can you tell me more? And then Shukdev Goswami, because he was narrating Krishna's pastime, Prabhupada writes there, Shukdev Goswami felt motherly parental affection towards Parikshit Maharaj, and he almost called him as my dear son. वहाँ उन्होंने अपने प्रेम को प्रदर्शित किया, वात्सल्य भाव को प्रदर्शित किया. Then when Parikshit Maharaj, when he saw the greatness of Yashoda, he said, yeah, Shukdev Goswami, how is it possible this supreme Brahman, जिसको यशोदा दूध पिलाती है, एक पुत्र के समान देखती है, ये कैसे हो गया? Then Shukdev Goswami narrated. Then at one point of time when he was narrating Aghasura's story, Aghasura's story was narrated by the cowherd boys to the Brajvasis after 1 year. But they were narrating their story as if it happened yesterday. The Parikshit Maharaj, how is they doing like this? As if it happened yesterday. What happened between these two? क्या हो गया? He's so alert. He's not simply hearing. तल्लीनता व्यक्ति को सतर्क भी बनाता है. Absorption, real absorption also gives rise to right analysis. This is the beauty of Parikshit Maharaj. तल्लीन है, absorbed है, but is not stupid. वो प्रश्न कर रहे हैं. Then when Shukdev Goswami heard Parikshit Maharaj's question, Bhagavatam explains that Shukdev Goswami became stunned. He almost lost his consciousness. And then अपने आप को उन्होंने क्या किया? He tried to recover himself. And he started narrating the entire Brahma Vimon Leela. अगर परीक्षित महाराज ने प्रश्न नहीं उठा था, तो क्या होता कि ब्रह्म विमोन लीला हमको मिलता ही नहीं था. Right time he raised. Therefore, Bhagavatam is not chronological. Bhagavatam is inspirational. ऐसे करते करते शुकदेव गोस्वामी को परीक्षित महाराज ने पूछा, I want to hear the story of how Krishna married Rukmini in Rakshasi Paddhati. राक्षस विवाह इज नॉट रिकमेंडेड इन द स्क्रिप्चर, बट कृष्णा डिड राक्षस विवाह. राक्षस किसके लिए? दूसरों के लिए राक्षस विवाह है, परंतु रुक्मिणी और कृष्ण के बीच में वो गंधर्व विवाह था. बिकॉज रुक्मिणी had sent a letter and Krishna appreciated that letter. He was so attracted by that letter. One Vaishnava said, when Balram ji got married, was about to get married, Balram ji said हम दोनों साथ में करेंगे. कृष्ण बोला मैं करूंगा ही नहीं, क्योंकि मैंने सीता के साथ विवाह कर लिया तो कितना कष्ट दिया उसको. आई ट्रबल्ड हर सो मच, मेरे कारण उसको कितना कष्ट झेलना पड़ा. तभी तो आई वॉज मोर स्टडी एज राम, बट अभी तो ये के द्वापर युग हैज कॉज सो मच ऑफ डिस्टर्बेंस. आई विल नॉट बी इन वन प्लेस, आई विल बी मूविंग हियर एंड देयर एवरीवेयर. सो therefore बेटर आई डोंट पुट दिस लेडीज इन ट्रबल. तो मैं विवाह नहीं करूंगा. इसके लिए विवाह नहीं करना चाहते थे. तो ऐसा उन्होंने व्रत ले ही लिया ऑलमोस्ट. तब रुक्मिणी का पत्र आ गया, तो भगवान ने क्या किया? व्रत को बाजू में रख दिया. नो, ही डिड नॉट बिकम लाइक भीष्म देव, दिस वैष्णव सेज. सो कृष्णा ग्लोरिफाइड दैट लेटर. ही वॉज सो फैसिनेटेड बाय दैट लेटर. ही एनालाइज दैट लेटर. इसमें प्रेम है, इसमें स्ट्रैटेजी है, इसमें वो धमका भी रहे मुझे, अगर नहीं आओगे ना तो मैं शरीर को छोड़ दूंगी. और बोल रही है कि अब यहां आओ, इस मंदिर के पास आकर मैं वहां पूजा के लिए आओगी, तब पीछे के दरवाजे मुझे किडनैप करके ले जाओ. नो, शी रेजिस्टेड अ रॉन्ग काइंड ऑफ मैरिज. सो परीक्षित महाराज वांटेड टू हियर द एंटायर स्टोरी. कैसे भगवान ने किडनैप किया, कब सुन रहे परीक्षित महाराज? when he is about to depart from this world. He is wanting to know about the marriage. And then Shukadeva Goswami narrated Parikshit Maharaj the marriage of Rukmini and Krishna. And then Parikshit Maharaj said, I also want to hear how my grandfather kidnapped Subhadra. वो भी मैं स्टोरी सुनना चाहता हूँ. तो ऐसे करते 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 स्टोरी सुनाया. Then Parikshit Maharaj asked a technical question to Shukadeva Goswami. How can Vedas, what are Vedas? They are Shabda. How can Shabda describe who is beyond Shabda? शब्द के परे जो है उसको किस प्रकार से ये शास्त्र डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं? Then there are prayers of the Vedas. Every chapter, every canto, every section, who is responsible? Parikshit Maharaj. In this way, karte, 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 there was last few minutes or few hours left. Then Parikshit Maharaj raised about the question of ultimate sanhar. अलग अलग प्रकार के प्रलयों के बारे में बात पूछा. And then Shukadeva Goswami narrated about pralay. And then he talked about atyantika pralay. One is the prakritika pralay. Then there is, four kinds of pralay. And one pralay is the pralay where when we quit this body forever, entire Brahmanda does not matter to us. जब जीव मुक्त हो जाता है फिर उसके लिए कितना भी सृष्टि की हो उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. जब तक जीव रहेगा तब तक के लिए बाकी सब प्रलय मैटर करता है. बिकॉज लिविंग एंटिटी हैज टू कम. आफ्टर हियरिंग ऑल दिस फ्रॉम शुकदेव गोस्वामी, Parikshit Maharaj was ready. And what did Shukadeva Goswami do? This is the beauty of the Bhagavatam. अपना काम करने के बाद Shukadeva Goswami told Parikshit, my dear Parikshit, do not become fearful. Do not go back to the animalistic propensities. आपको क्या करना है? अभी उस भगवान के प्रति स्मरण करना है, who is non-different from you in regards to character. And Shukadeva Goswami did not wait for Parikshit Maharaj's departure. He walked away. Was he harsh? Was he cruel? No. He had the confidence कि मुझे जो करना था, जो देना था, उसको दे दिया परीक्षित महाराज को. And Parikshit Maharaj did not insist that you stay, I'm going to depart from this world now. If you are around me, that will give me a lot of confidence. Parikshit Maharaj became a confident personality. और वो खड़े हो गए उधर. As Bhagavatam explains in the first canto, Parikshit had told, let whatever this Brahman has created, this snake bird, धसत्वलम गायता विष्णु गाथा, आप गाते रहो विष्णु के महानता को, मैं सुनता रहूंगा. And then Takshaka came, and Takshaka was stopped by one rishi called Kashyap. बोला मत जाओ. He said, Takshaka asked him, where are you going? He said, I am going to Parikshit Maharaj. Why? He said, कोई आने वाला है उसको मारने के लिए, अगर मैं उसको बचाऊंगा तो इतना मुझे धन देगा, इतना धन राशि देगा, इसलिए मैं जा रहा हूं. No, unfortunate, like a modern medicinal practitioner, not like Dr. Alva and others, not like our Dwarkadish Pro and others, but he, उसका क्या था, जो भी मुझे धन देगा उसको मैं मानूंगा. He said, what can you do? He said, you try something. So Takshak bit a tree, a banyan tree. पूरा भस्म के नीचे आ गया, वो पाउडर बन गया. तो उसके बाद ऐसी दवाई थी, जब उसने दवाई दाया वो पूरा पेड़ फिर से वापस आ गया. तक्षक को समझा कि मेरा जाना पूरा कुछ भी काम नहीं होगा. He said, what do you want? He said, if you can give me more than what Parikshit can give, I'll go away. No, he was purchased. He didn't had. यह है भागवतम में. So he took that remuneration. He walked away from there, and Takshak came to Parikshit Maharaj, and he bit Parikshit Maharaj. Bhagavatam explains, suddenly there was a lull. There was ahakar sab jagah mein, ek kshan ke liye. Then there was flowers being showered on Parikshit Maharaj, because he had actually left his body before Takshak could bit him through the process of samadhi. वो अपने शरीर को छोड़ दिया था. जो तक्षक ने परीक्षित को ढसा, it was simply superficial. Hearing the Bhagavatam, he had already attained supreme destination of the spiritual realm. ये जब लोगों को समझ में आ गया, पहले रोए, परीक्षित चला गया, लेकिन सारे देवताओं ने, गंधर्व, सबके सब ने उस परीक्षित के ऊपर फूल की वृष्टि कर दी. In this way, then Bhagavatam completes with the glorification of Bhagavatam. How amongst the rivers Ganga is the best. How amongst the Vaishnavas Shiva is the best. How amongst the Tirthas Kashi is the best. अभी मेरे को उसका उत्तर नहीं है. Bhagavatam says. And how amongst the Puranas Bhagavatam is the Shrestha. And he concludes in the 12th canto that in Kali Yuga, when we chant the holy names of the Lord, that creates greatest auspiciousness. In this way, till Parikshit was living, Bhagavat continued. Once Parikshit stopped, there was nobody to ask question to Shukdev Goswami. In this world, Bhagavatam stopped at 12th canto, and therefore Parikshit's contribution is so great, so wonderful.
RG Media YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe.